So where do I begin? The last time we saw one another, the car was driving off into the sunset, beautiful scenery, and it was a fond farewell, and the car was going to paint on June 10th. Car got transferred over to the body shop. They came and picked it up. Everything was looking good. We were hopeful for a 3 to 5, maybe 6 week duration of a paint job, and life was looking good. So I went and paid a visit, my first visit. I'm not going to throw dates out right away. That might come down later, but I just want to do a quick video on where we are right now. Front bumper was still on, but the headlights were removed and some of the body work was taking place. Was it perfect yet? Not at all, but progress was being made. Like I said, the windshield was taken out. We discussed the leather repair that could happen. He had a gentleman that was a upholsterer and he was going to come by and stretch that and glue it. The back was being slightly worked on, but they were actually really focusing on the bumpers. And the rear bumper, you know what, honestly did need a lot of work, because when I was trying to fit it in, it wasn't really fitting, and some of these attachment points broke. So that does take some time. We discussed painting the back of the bumpers and making sure there was no red to be present. My next visit wasn't too far down the road. It was actually maybe a few days, maybe a week later. Not much progress was being done. I'm guessing I was bringing some parts. That's why I returned so soon. But not much progress on the quarter panel itself. But they had mentioned that they were actually working on pulling everything, because it actually was pushed up or pushed in quite a bit. So they had actually pulled that back down. Progression on the rocker panels, things were looking great. The one gentleman who was always working on the vehicle was still working on it. He was the only one that I really saw do much of the bodywork sanding. He was also progressing quite well with the front bumper. Front bumper was looking great. I was really happy with what the repairs were around the washer jets. Everything looked really nice and solid. So yeah, things were looking good. Oh, that's one thing. I did take the tires, the brand new tires there, and they actually had a local company put them on. So it does have brand new Michelins now. So when we do get the car back, that will be done. Next visit was a little bit further down the road. I believe this is in July. We were getting closer to paint from what I was told. But there seemed to be a lot of repair work still needing to be done. The car was sanded, but not really corrected in the quarter panel. So the mention was to, or the plan was to repair some of the metal. It wasn't really banged up, so either they're going to pound it out or a little bit of filler. But you know, the hope was to get some new metal in there. So. But one thing they did find, there was a little bit of damage in this back driver's quarter panel. They had found damage and also a little bit of a badly repaired hole in the one area. So, you know what, great, we found some damage. I spoke to the previous owner. He knew nothing about it, but hey, you know what, he wasn't the first owner or the only owner. So I'm glad we found it, and it's gonna get repaired properly. Everything else, again, we were discussing, you know, getting everything lined up, and the front had a few issues on the front pillar, but other than that, hey, progress was still being made, and it sounded like paint was going to happen soon. And the door, of course, there was some damage from when the mirror got pushed or hit during the accident and actually bent some of it, so they were actually repairing that, and the repair was actually looking fabulous. Yeah, so overall, it looked like it was still progressing in the right direction. That's probably another reason I came out. I brought the windshield. That was just waiting for replacement. So this visit was post. They had mentioned that they did paint the vehicle, but the paint didn't adhere, and the paint had to be completely taken off. So another setback. This was end of August, beginning of September. So this is kind of the start of where we are today. it really kind of slowed down the progress of the vehicle. It seemed to be stagnant. It appeared that a lot of the work was still needing to be done. I had mentioned, was the car actually painted? And they insist that the car had been painted, and they came across with an adhesion problem. So, you know what, we're still moving forward. Let's get this car done. But again, this is in September now, and right now it is January. So, you know, the back quarter panel had a lot of filler on it that still seemed to be quite tacky. So either the repair was going on that day or what. The next visit, a little more work progress had been done, but the job had really slowed down, and it did come out that the one gentleman that I always did see doing the work, he had taken employment elsewhere. So I think that was another reason why the job had slowed down so much. Was I still hopeful that we were moving forward? Of course I was. You know, it's, you know, when you're this deep into a project with parts everywhere, you're just really hoping that everything still progresses and moves forward in the direction that you want it to. So the shop does amazing work, that's not in question, but it's how long this has been going on for. So the most recent visit that I did, there is some progression in the bodywork. I think this was again in the fall, but again, things are really moving slowly. The repair on the quarter panel is progressing. I'm always questioning how much filler there is, and they mention very thin amount. I'm going with that. It looks a little thick on the bottom, but that is actually not fully sanded and fixed yet. And on the side, it doesn't look that thick. So I'm hopeful that they were able to shape it quite a bit, and it's just a feather of filler. I know I'm not going to get away with this vehicle not having any filler, but I'm hoping that it's as minor amount as we can go. This area still doesn't appear to be fixed, so that kind of had me a little stumped. It still feels like when I tactically push on that area, it still feels like there's a hole there. Something's just not right. So I didn't want to peel back the paint. It's not my place to do so, and the whole interior was still closed off, and I was wondering if that dash had been repaired or not. It had been mentioned that it was, but again, I just want to move forward. I want to get along with the body shop. Again, they do great work. I respect them. But again, we have to start moving forward here. So the last little bit, this last visit, this was before Christmas. Things have progressed a little bit further in the repair. But where we stand now, the car is still kind of at this stage, very little work to be done. It still needs to be shot in primer, some of the areas, the bumper, hood, and everything looks like it's ready to go. Fenders still need to be shot in primer. The plan now is for me to actually go out there this coming week and help with some of the procedure. Sounds like the company is going to shut down in June. He's going to just take a break from business, but his plan is to finish all the work that he has right now and clear everything up. So I'm going to go out there and kind of help with the progress. It could be painted this week or it could not. So I'm hoping it is, but that's the plan, and we'll go from there.